Hi, beautiful souls. Today I want to share my own personal journey with grief. A few years ago, I was in a romantic relationship that was very intense in all the good ways and all the challenging ways. And it was a beautiful relationship, but it was also the most difficult time of my life. And I had been in previous long-term romantic relationships before. However, after every ending, I realized later that I wasn't actually allowing myself to grieve for the feelings and emotions that were present, that were coming up for me. Not until this last relationship, after a few years of connection, deciding to step away from it completely, deciding to go into the intensity of all of the anger and pain and sadness and resentment, but also the love at the same time, and allowing myself to feel all of that from my heart. That was when I had my biggest spiritual breakthrough. What it felt like was I was burning from the inside out. And I say this to be raw and real because grief is challenging. To grieve for the parts of myself that were in love and in connection with a certain person, but then to hold the love that I felt for this person at the same time. That is when I felt my heart open up, really open up, and expand. And as it was expanding, it was able to hold more and more and more of the emotions that were coming up for me. What was interesting is that I then began to have more understanding and more clarity about how I was creating certain behaviors and patterns. And it was a recreation of these behaviors and patterns from my very first relationships coming into this world, which were with my parents, my primary caregivers. And for some of us, it can be siblings, it can be grandparents, aunts, uncles, cousins, that can also add and contribute to our very first relationship experiences as infants and as children growing up. And so without fully realizing it consciously, I was recreating these stressful patterns and behaviors. The distress that was stored in my body was needing to be seen and needing to be felt to heal, to be resolved, because there were situations, repeated situations, I should say, that went on for years, that went unresolved. And when we live through unresolved situations for long periods of time, those then get stored in our bodies and in our minds, and the human body is designed in such a way to create resolve in order to create expansion. in the heart. And when my heart started to open to all of this truth, to all of the parts of me that were needing to be seen and felt and heard and by me, that I was suppressing and ignoring and denying because it was too painful. When I finally decided to look in the mirror and really see myself, look myself in the eyes, and not leave when I felt something uncomfortable or saw something I didn't like, that is when I learned what real love actually is, because love starts with the self. It starts with you. And until I was able to open up my heart to myself, only then was I able to open up my heart truly to others in a real, raw way. And that is when I also started to see and feel the presence of my angels, my guardian angels, all around me. They had always been there. My heart was not open to them yet. And now I have so much appreciation for these angels, as they have been with me this entire time. And I connect with them every day.